Hello everyone, Jewel here. If you happen to watch a lot of announcement trailer recently, you will notice that there's a lot of JRPG games that will be released on PC. And because it's been a while since I made lists for PC JRPG, I think this will be a good time for showcasing some of the best new JRPG games that you should play in 2022. Please note that I don't make this list based on my verdict, because some of these games are not released yet. Alright then, let's get started.
Keep your guard up. Whatever you say, Jack.
The Caligula Effect 2 is basically the Matrix-inspired JRPG combined with Persona atmosphere. Obviously, this is not a AAA production. The graphics are just okay and most animations are pretty basic. But you know what? The game is surprisingly works well. The combat especially is pretty unique. It combines turn-based mechanic with its own twist of active time battle system. As for the story, I would say it's decent, but I feel like they can make it far better than that. Overall, if you're looking for a fresh JRPG, especially games like Persona, then make sure to try this game. Soul Hackers 2 is an upcoming RPG developed and published by Atelier. It is the sequel to Devil Summoner Soul Hackers and the 5th installment of the Devil Summoner series. Just like most of Shin Megami Tensei games, the combat is a turn-based. Battles involve a party of 4 characters and the element affinities present in other Megami Tensei titles. Characters take turns using a combination of physical attacks and magic skills that summon demons to perform elemental attacks. Soul Hackers 2 takes place in the 21st century and is set during a war between the Yatagarasu and the Phantom Society, 2 opposing factions of Devil Summoners.
I'm beat.
Imagine several ex-Atlas staff who were instrumental in the early days of the Shin Megami Tensei and Persona series suddenly want to make a game inspired by those series. That's right, Monark is that kind of game. It's definitely rough around the edges, but I would say this is still worth giving a fair look. It has a decent story, stunning artworks, and enjoyable gameplay mechanic. It's not crazy innovative, but it's fun, although it can be a bit tedious, especially with the grinding. I can see that every fan of Persona might want to give this a try because it has similar vibes and atmosphere, but please have some deep talk with your wallet first, cause I think the price is a little bit in the evil category.
Counterattack.
Eiyuden Chronicle Rising is a prequel to the upcoming JRPG Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. This game is meant to be a little teaser of what's to come in terms of characters, setting, and tone, while carrying with it an entirely different mode of gameplay. It was made by a separate studio on a small budget with an intentionally limited scope. With that in mind, surely the game doesn't have the level of depth that Suikoden had. But as a teaser for your next grand adventure, I would say it has pretty decent value. The gameplay starts out a little slow and clunky, but as you acquire various upgrades, it becomes surprisingly intricate. The characters also show a lot of the charm and uniqueness that the best Suikoden characters did. If anything, this game makes me really excited to play Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Square Enix and Tri-Ace have announced that Star Ocean: The Divine Force will launch on October 27 globally. As usual, Star Ocean: The Divine Force follows 2 protagonists, Raymond and Leticia. Players will have the choice to pick between the 2 and gain unique perspectives from both characters. The battle system seems to have gone through an overhaul. The transition from the field into battle is seamless, so goodbye to that 3 seconds of loading time of each enemy encounters. Not only that, we also have the ability to glide across landscapes and jump between platforms, which makes exploration even better.
That was right, correct? Her Highness has chosen to die with dignity.
SD Gundam Battle Alliance is an action RPG that allows players to battle SD versions of mobile suits from Gundam series. The story takes place in G-Universe, a world where Gundam's story becomes somewhat twisted, caused by strange phenomenon known as breaks. To correct this world's distorted history, the player leads a 3-unit squadron consisting of mobile suits and pilots from across Gundam history. What makes it even better, you don't have to play alone, because the game offers multiplayer option, so you and your friends can fix the history together.
Dense fog, filled with
Celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Digimon anime, Digimon Survive presents a brand new adventure set in a mysterious world. It was developed by Hyde and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment and will be released in Japan on July 28 and worldwide on July 29. Digimon Survive is an upcoming visual novel game with tactical RPG elements. Player choices influence the direction of the story, including the Digimon's digivolution process. Multiple playthrough can result in different paths and different digivolutions. The game also features multiple endings, which guaranteed replayability value.
They must survive.
Chrono Cross deserves better than this remaster. If anything, Chrono Cross deserves a full remake. But still, as a guy growing up playing this classic RPG, of course I wanted to see what they offer with this remaster. And sadly, what we get is just better model resolution, better FPS, and maybe a little bit of quality of life improvements. But despite this lazy effort, I'm actually still enjoy playing the game. Well, maybe not as much fun because I already know the story and everything, but as for the vibes and atmosphere, it just never gets old. As much as I want to say no to this remaster, but still it is the best version for Chrono Cross that's available, especially for newcomers. Square Enix has re-embraced the tactical RPG genre with their new IP Triangle Strategy. But for some reason, Square Enix already has another game in the genre coming out later this year, the DioField Chronicle. The game plays as a turn-based strategy. It is not tile-based in its movement, like Final Fantasy Tactics, but instead allows for more free directional movement like XCOM. The game also features real-time strategy elements, with the battle system being named as a real-time tactical battle system. With my recent appetite on tactical RPG, I can't wait to see how this game plays out.
That's right. All the more reason to avoid bloodshed.
Who would ever thought Square Enix actually still care with their Valkyrie profile franchise? The next installment of a beloved Square Enix series is coming to consoles and PC. It's called Valkyrie Elysium. The Valkyrie series depicts the end of humanity and their encounters with gods through a unique world inspired by Norse mythology. These elements are also present in the next entry, along with bold new ideas that make the game feel exciting and modern. Instead of the classic turn-based combat, Valkyrie Elysium changed its direction to an action RPG with fast-paced combat. Valkyrie Elysium is planned to be released in 2022, so make sure you are ready when it comes out. Atelier Sophie 2 Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream is an improvement on all aspects of its predecessor. It utilizes many of the new mechanics found in more recent Atelier titles while also keeping its own identity within the franchise. While Sophie 2 feels very similar to the Ryza titles, it manages to carve an identity of its own through its battle system. It actually sticks with the traditional and strict turn-based Atelier combat system rather than transitioning to Ryza's real-time and turn-based hybrid. For those who didn't play the first game, the title screen does offer the option to watch a brief video summary to catch up on the events so far. So if you want to jump in immediately to this game, you will still be able to understand what is going on. Do you still remember the chaos meme when Stranger of Paradise trailer comes out? Well, it was a hell of a meme, but you know what? The game actually pretty solid. This fast-paced action RPG dives into the history of the franchise's very first boss, the Corellian Knight Garland. In Stranger of Paradise, you play as Jack, a guy with anger issues bent on finding and destroying chaos. It can be feels too edgy and cringe sometimes, but it has its own charm. Despite all of that, the real star of Stranger of Paradise is its gameplay. Encounters are a calculated dance of fierce attacks, perfectly timed parries or blocks, and breaking guards which will trigger gruesome instant kills. So, Joel, is this game basically Final Fantasy Souls-like? Well, yeah, it pretty much sums it up.
Use brings about
During the recent Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary celebration stream, Square Enix announced somewhat a new game called Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. This is a full remaster of the PSP exclusive Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, which originally launched 15 years ago. Back then, the game is so popular thanks to its innovative gameplay, likable characters, and an impactful narrative that added even more detail and richness to the world of Final Fantasy VII. And now, it's coming back in a new and improved form. And you know what's more crazy? The game actually coming out this year. Looks like Square Enix really turned up the heat this year. Despite all the new games that Square Enix are going to launch this year, let me tell you what's even better than those announcements. That's right, The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero English localization is coming up in the end of this September. After so many years, we can finally play this game with its official English translation. But Joel, it's the same game. You know what? Who cares if it's the same game? You should play the entire series of the Legend of Heroes Trails series if you haven't played it before, especially if you call yourself a JRPG enthusiast.
Enemy readings have decreased?
Wait, it's not over yet? You mean there's even better news than Trails from Zero? That's right. Persona 5 Royal and Persona 3 Portable is finally coming to PC this October. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. You are practically a sinner in the eyes of the god if you even have a glimpse of doubt to buy this game.
still alive.
There are 3 enemies.
Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that I'm not Sir Gideon the All-Knowing, so maybe there are still other new PC JRPG that I haven't mentioned yet. So how about sharing your best new PC JRPG games that probably deserve a spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!